William Morrow and HarperAudio present The Notorious Lord Knightly, a novel by Lorraine Heath, performed by Kate Redding. On behalf of Andrea Hamblin, this book is dedicated as follows to Jan Paten, who moved from the City of Love, Paris, France, to follow his love Laura to Belgium. May you live happily ever after. With my love, Aunt Andrea. Chapter 1. I should have been in the ballroom dancing. Instead, I was standing in the gardens, away from any light, listening to the approach of the soft footfalls. His familiar, enticing sandalwood fragrance, mixed with his own unique scent, reached me first and revealed his identity. Therefore, I held still and waited, my breath sawing in and out with anticipation. Slowly his arms came around me, folding over my chest in such a way that his large and powerful hands cradled my breasts and squeezed gently as he pulled me into the nook of his body until my back rested against his broad chest. Then his mouth, heated as though by the very fires of Hades, pressed against the nape of my neck, sending delicious shivers coursing through me. At that moment, I knew I would do anything Lord K asked of me. Anonymous. My Secret Desires. A Memoir. London, June 5th, 1875. Arthur Pennington, the Earl of Knightly, rather wished he'd stayed in his residence that evening instead of venturing out to his favourite club. He was no stranger to intense gazes from young swells who sought to emulate him, flirtatious smiles from women, married and not, young and old, who wished to entice him into a secluded corner, and murderous glares from men he'd bested, in business and otherwise. He liked winning, loved it, in fact. In his youth, the game might have been as simple as being the first to introduce a debutante to the pleasures of kissing. He'd not been quite so discerning then. A kiss was just a kiss. Over the years, however, the games had become increasingly complicated, his victories not quite so public. He'd discovered it could be quite delicious to be the only one to know he'd won. Anonymity had its rewards. But recently, the curious looks were far more frequent, lasted longer, and contained a great deal more speculation. They were also accompanied by whispers and nods, low murmurings, and the occasional giggle, the latter usually released by a young chit experiencing her first season, who had yet to be kissed, and was bashful, as well as easily mortified by any reference at all to what transpired between consenting adults. He'd hoped by now, nearly 6 weeks in, that all the conjecture would have dissipated, but the ton liked nothing better than a good bit of gossip. And of late, he'd very much become the gossip-monger's favourite topic. "It seems, Knight, you've replaced me as the scoundrel to be avoided at all costs this season." Narrowing his eyes, Knight slowly shifted his attention over to David Blackwood, commonly known as Bishop, who sat beside him with a smirk on his ruggedly handsome face. 2 months prior, his longtime friend had been dubbed Blackguard Blackwood because of his reputation for leading married ladies to ruin in such a flagrant public fashion that they were soon divorced. Now he was more popularly identified as Besotted Blackwood, thanks to his newly acquired wife, Marguerite. She occupied the chair on the other side of Bishop, their fingers interlocked in their usual scandalous public spectacle of not being able to keep their hands off each other.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?